2 years ago, Mr. Neil Serlag took a principal position in a small rural Alberta town. The school serves grade 8 to 12 students, whose parents and grandparents also went to the same school, and it is a close-knit agricultural community. Things move slower here, and change is not common, especially in the school, where teacher turnover is quite low. However, in June of last year, Mrs. Pell, the longtime fine arts teacher, decided to retire. She was loved by the community, even though she repeated the same art lessons and rotated the same 6 plays for the last 30 years. So, in hopes of exposing students to other learning opportunities, Mr. Neil Serlag replaced Mrs. Pell with Mr. Wilson, a teacher from Toronto, who is very passionate about the arts and embraces all forms of artistic expression. When Mr. Wilson began teaching his drama class, he chose a very artistic theater production to recreate with his students. Mr. Neil Serlag started to notice that there were 2 definitively different responses to this choice of play. One group of students seemed to come alive at the opportunity to be more creative than in the past, but the second group seemed very uncomfortable with the new approaches and flamboyant costuming. Also, in passing, parents were making negative comments about the new teacher's approach and ideas. Despite this, preparation for the play still continued. 6 weeks into the semester, Mr. Wilson came into Mr. Neil Serlag's office and filled him in on an ethical dilemma he was facing. Male students in the play had occasionally complained to Mr. Wilson about being labeled gay for participating in the play. Interestingly enough, Mr. Neil Serlag had just reviewed the results from the district's student and parent survey a couple of weeks earlier and had been concerned with the results surrounding the school climate. In particular, the responses about harassment of LGBTQ+ students had been alarming and posed a significantly widespread problem. Mr. Wilson went on to report that Michael, a grade 9 student who was openly gay, had confessed that he was enduring daily harassment from other students based on the fact that he was gay. Michael also said that he had been receiving over 20 anti-gay insults each day and had been physically assaulted on school property twice since the start of school. He complained that Mr. Johnson's class was the worst because the teacher didn't ever do anything, even when he would blatantly hear students call Michael a faggot. After Michael reported this to Mr. Wilson spoke with Mr. Johnson about the allegations. Mr. Johnson told Wilson that kids like that need to learn to take those kind of remarks because that's the life they are.
Created using Powtoon.